What's up, YouTube? I'm back with another video. Hope everybody's doing good today. Hope everybody's doing well. It's a beautiful Friday today, and we're just going to jump into the video because this is a very, very serious topic, and this is a hard video for me to make because this makes me sad and it pisses me off at the same time. And I don't know what number attempt this is making this video. I keep stopping and deleting it because I keep just not being able to get my words together. But I'm gonna try again. Excuse me. But alright, today we're gonna talk about black femicide. And before I go in on this topic, I first want to say that that it's not just that, like, this is a men problem. I don't want to say in general because of course it's not all men, but because I know it's not all men. It's not all men. If it don't apply to you, let it the fuck fly. All right. And I got my notes here if you see me looking down. So, yeah, all right. And we all know about the statistics and, black on black crime. We all know that's bullshit now because, you got people are more, likely to do crimes within their own community, as we know. But the thing is that comparing these things, just like, okay, well, you got white men, doing a lot of crimes against, white women, that doesn't negate the issue. Because even when you look at these things, you'll see that black women are actually dying at a higher rate. They're getting killed at a much higher rate than these other women of these other communities. And the other thing is that with these white men, I'm not in community with them. I'm in community with black men. And of course, because I don't want nobody trying to jump on me and all this bullshit, I'm not saying all black men. Again, if it don't apply to you, let it fuck fly. Excuse me. But, the the thing is, one of the things is that when girls are socialized, they're socialized to not be entitled to anything. But you have men, you have boys. Excuse me. They're socialized, conditioned, patriarchy, and you could even say society too in different ways, that it teaches them that they're entitled. It teaches them that how would I say it? It teaches them that they're owed something. And these days it really seems like men are getting more violent. And that's because they're not getting the things that they are taught they've been entitled to, that they're owed, and they lash out with violence. Now, in the black community, as I said, this is happening to black women at a much, much higher rate. And you do have these people that are against interracial marriage, interracial relationships in general, that are using what was her name? Janae, I believe was her name. Actually, let me look up her name because I don't want to get it wrong, because I had it on here. I think her name was Janae. I'll say names at the end of the video. So, but with the content creator that was killed by her white fiance, is saying that they're using it for their own agenda. I'll say it like that. And I think it's really disgusting using a tragedy for your own for your own agenda. I think that's really disgusting. But it's crickets when you have that man, that monster, that I think it was last week killed all his children. You don't hear nothing. You don't hear nothing when it's violence against each other. I don't understand. And the other thing is that the sad truth of it is that black women are not safe anywhere. And it's even sadder that we're not even safe in our own community. And it's really crazy how much we want to deflect and how much we just don't want to deal with this. There's so much in this that I just don't understand and never will understand. Now, I said I was going to do it in the video, but I just want to do it now, where I'm going to say some names. This is an ad. And this is from Hype News. Where is it? Okay. I still can't find the names. Okay, this is Ashley Janae's story. Okay. This week, the name Ashley Janae would take over headlines after she reportedly passed away during a trip this week in Africa. Her suspicious death, which is currently under investigation, would spark a conversation around race and speculation that she may have been killed by her new fiance, Joe McCain. And I'll go down to the next name. And I'm sorry if I butcher these names. It's no disrespect. Sadeti, whose real name is Quinshila Barnes, would be shot in the face at least 4 times before police would arrive, according to her family, despite a suspect not being charged yet for her shooting. They do believe she was targeted due to her recent pregnancy. She was just 36 years of age. Now, unfortunately, on April 10th, another black woman was shot and killed, but this time in Columbia, South Carolina, Sierra Helcott. According to reports, she was found dead in a local neighborhood at 11 a.m. on a Tuesday morning near her family home at the time of her shooting. It is unclear who the alleged suspect was, and it wasn't until 2 days later, police would arrest a 19-year-old for Helcott's murder. The motive as to what promoted the shooting has yet to be reported. Y'all. Helcott was 31 years old on April 13th in New Jersey. A woman by the name of Victoria Alexander would be a victim of a murder-suicide while at work. Alexander, who was a nurse in her local area, according to reports, was shot by her estranged husband, Brandon Alexander, before he would turn the gun on himself. I want to pause on that. And I just want to talk about how would I say it? Because I'm in a lost for words for a lot of this. Is that you have this young woman. I think she was a young woman. I'm not sure about her age, or if I read her age. I don't think so, but I'll call it that. Was killed in her own home by her estranged husband. And I think this is the one that was talking about he killed her because he just couldn't take it no more. And I just don't understand that. You just can't take what? Because from what I read, that she's a very successful woman. And I just can't even imagine that. Being killed by someone that you were with. Well, technically, she's still technically with them. They didn't get a divorce just yet. Because I think they were talking about, I think she's in, let me see. I think she's in Virginia, I believe. And in Virginia, because I think that was, I think that's the one in Virginia, I believe, or it was another one. But either way, in Virginia, it's you have to go through so much to get a divorce. And that really puts, if you're in a domestic violence situation, that really that puts you in more danger. Because I mean, you have to live together for a whole year before you get a divorce, and that don't make no fucking sense right there. I don't even understand that. I just can't with that, but we're gonna move on. Okay, investigators say that around 6 o'clock a.m., Brandon blocked his wife's car at her job's parking lot as she arrived for work, got inside her vehicle and left two suicide notes on the dashboard. A food delivery driver would eventually arrive, and Victoria would take the opportunity to escape by running into her work facility, where she was then chased into a building by her husband, who would then shoot her multiple times before taking his own life. Victoria was announced dead at the scene. She was just 38 years old. And okay, that wasn't the one that was shot in our own home. But, so I apologize for that. But, of course, it still is a tragedy. Now, traveling to the Bahamas for a quick moment outside of the killings of black women in just the U.S., on April 14th, a grandmother, Tamika Nage, again, I'm sorry if I'm butchering the names, who was watching TV with her family around 10 p.m. and would be killed by stray bullets that were ripped through her home while holding her 1-year-old grandson. According to investigators, an unidentified man was chasing another man, fired multiple shots during the pursuit, and that's when the bullets would enter Tamika's home. Excuse me. As she sat on her bed, the 48-year-old janitor's school's blood, according to her mother, would cover her grandchild as she was holding before being removed from her arms. When police arrived, Tamika was unresponsive and later passed. The suspect would flee the area and is still unidentified. Now, back to the States. On April 14th in Chicago, the wife of the late Cook County Commissioner Dennis Deere would be another victim of a murder-suicide. According to the local news outlets, Barbara Deere and her son Caleb were shot in their home close to 6 p.m. according to official reports. Caleb would end up shooting his mother 3 times before taking his own life. At this time, it appears to be unclear on why Caleb would decide to kill both he and his mother. The 51-year-old Barbara was a mother of 3 and is survived by her daughter, who was at school at the time of the shooting, and her other son, who happened to be the twin of her son Kayla. On April 14th, back in Atlanta, 34-year-old Bianca Hutley will be found shot on a well-known highway during rush hour traffic on her way home from work. The mother of 2, who was also pregnant with her 3rd, according to her mother, would be shot through her BMW as she drove from work. She would then attempt to exit the vehicle and call 911 before passing. According to her family, they did not believe the single mother was a victim of road rage and speculated that the incident was a targeted shooting. Now, just 2 days after Hutley's killing on April 16th, another woman will be found shot in her car in Atlanta at a local shopping plaza. 25-year-old Zamari Spearman was reportedly waiting behind the plaza Thursday morning around 8:30 a.m. 2 hours later, Spearman was found in her car shot. According to business owner in the plaza, Spearman was spotted waiting for someone before she was found. The investigation is still ongoing. Now, the same day, on April 16th in Houston, I apologize, I had to pause the video. But okay. Now, on the same day, on April 16th in Houston, a pregnant mother, Ashanti Allen, who was missing since April 9th, was found dead. Allen, who was 8 months pregnant at the time of her passing, was found near a local bayou. After her family would receive a strange text that Allen was leaving town. At this time, her cause of death has yet to be reported. However, Allen's boyfriend and her father of her unborn child has been charged with capital murder. and he is currently still at large, and she was only 23 years of age. As you should know, April 16th would mark another unfortunate shooting as former Lieutenant Governor of Virginia, Justin Fairfax, would shoot his estranged wife, Serena Fairfax, who was a successful dentist in her area. According to reports, Justin would end up shooting his wife in their basement before going upstairs to take his own life. According to those same reports, Their conflict stemmed from Serena filing for divorce a year ago, with Justin recently only having 2 weeks left to move out of their family home after a judge would order a move over ongoing tension between them. Serena Fairfax was 48 years old. Now, we're certain that these stories are only some of the killings of black women that happened in the States this week, like unsolved, shooting of 21-year-old Dia Carter in Denver, who was shot in her car on April 12th, rounding at a total of 10 black women killed this week. These stories come with clear message and concerns on why those who are supposed to be protected in the community have found themselves as constant victims of crimes that cut their lives short. Let's talk about it more in the comments below. Okay, yeah, that was the transcript for the video. But yeah, you have a long list of black women being unalived. I might as well just say killed at this point. But the other thing is that I think is a real problem is that you have these let me get my thoughts together. As I said, I struggle with this video. But anyway, so the other thing is that when you have abusive men in the community, they are coddled by the community. And that's a big ass problem, a huge one. Examples are with R. Kelly. And another recent example is Diddy. People still support him even when they see that video of him beating the shit out of Cassie. I don't understand that. You see clearly, because it's obviously no question as to if that man is an abuser or not. Obviously he is. And you know, you have proof right there. But you have these other black men, and even black women, even some of these other black women too, that are still coming to his defense. You even have Usher coming to his defense still now. And I just don't understand. Why do y'all still want to put these abusers on a pedestal? Because another problem in the black community is the black community does love to protect abusers. That's the truth of it. And we've seen it. You can see it out with celebrities. You can even see it in your private life too. I've heard a lot of stories. I don't understand. It's true when Malcolm X said that the black women, and this is a paraphrase quote, is the most disrespected and the least protected. And it's not just in America. I think this is globally too. And I think it's really fucked up and just sad and infuriating that we can't even get, any any acknowledgement or any help for that in the community. We can't get it outside and even in the community. And I don't understand why is it so hard to protect black women and black girls? Why is it so hard? And why is it so hard to acknowledge these? I don't get it. The community has a lot of work to do. And talking only does so much if there's action behind it, as I've said. But, and the sad thing is, I don't like saying this, I don't see this changing no time soon. I just don't. But I'm just at a loss for words. It just makes me so sad. All this just really breaks my heart. Cause, I mean, black women are important just like a black man. But in our community, because of just all this sexism and misogyny, especially misogynoir, the black man is seen as way more important than us. Because, I mean, just look at it. With any movement, because I do have criticism of, some of these black movements, is that, everybody has to show up for the black man. And then when we do that, then when we need help, and it's not just, with women, any other black group, is that we have to fend for ourselves. We can't even get support from our own community with these things. But, black women, the only people that are going to protect us are ourselves, it looks like. So, yeah. But anyway, like I said, hard video to make, and I'm sorry if I was, stumbling through shit and all of that. But anyway, like, comment, subscribe, and tell me what y'all think about this. I'll see y'all in the next video.